Hey guys, this is going to be your orientation to your virtual clinicals. I'll have screenshots. I'm going to go through and show you exactly where to go, how to log on, and I'll even show you what it's going to look like in your assignments that you will complete when you do go to virtual clinicals. So bear with me. I'll make this a YouTube so it'll be easy for you to watch wherever, whenever. Alright guys, bear with me. Go to week 11. Lab clinical content. Here is your login information. You pull this up. You're going to have this paper show up. Read this in its entirety. Take your time, read it slowly. Actually, Ms. Howard has suggested you print this and just keep it at your computer. Alright, so read all this, but right now I want you to go ahead and go to this site. This is clickable. You just control and click and you can get to this site. You're going to have to create an account with your school email address and then check your mail. Make sure you look in the spam folder. So take a minute, pause this recording and go and log on and register. It takes a minute sometimes to get the little verification email because you'll have to confirm that. And then I want you to log in. So I'm going to give you a minute to go ahead and do that. So pause your video here. Once you've gotten all this done, here's your course code. Just cut and paste this in, and I'm going to show you where you go. I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like. You should be on there with me. This is what you're going to look like, This is what it's going to look like once you get signed on. Alright, once you get your instructions, you are going to go to this area right here. It'll have your name, just like it does mine, dashboard. You'll go into this, and this is where you're going to find your assignments. Your first assignments will be, keep looking, week 1 pediatrics. Keep looking. Week 1 obstetrics. These are fundamentals, and I'll tell you about your your assignment here in just a minute, exactly what you're going to do. Let's look at one of these just to kind of show you what you have to look forward to when you get in there. When you do PD, you have to make a score of 50 or it's going to keep going back and forth. It won't let you finish until you make at least a 50 on everyone, so you can't just go and click. I tried, guys, it doesn't work. I tried to click through it to see what all it was going to ask. You have to answer enough questions correctly or it's a vicious cycle. So take your time and do these. They're very interesting and they're kind of fun. So let's after you do one session and you'll have a report. I want you to take a screenshot of that or a picture of it, and then you can start a new session once you've done the one session. Always start a new session when you're finished, but don't forget to take your picture. So I'm going to resume because I was already into this. So you'll just read whatever it says. They're going to want you to do an assessment. That's my email. I just got an email. They'll want you to do an assessment of some sort or prioritize or do something. And this gives you instruction. And right now they're telling us that they want us to prioritize. So we're going to go 12 is the most critical. We're going to go continue. It gives you a short little report, and then it asks you, do you think that these people are they at a normal or an increased acuity as far as their educational needs? If they need education, they would be at increased acuity. I'm not even reading this. You guys are going to have to read it, obviously. I'm just looking to show you how to do this. Health. Do they look healthy or do they need increased acuity? Same thing with LOC. I didn't make this big enough for you to see this edge, but that's LOC. This is pain. This is psychological, and then safety, and then submit your responses. Okay, I didn't even read it. I got 3 of them wrong, and then I'm going to continue. All right, same thing. You're going to read it. You're going to continue. You have to go through these pretty slowly. Once you get to the medication pass or do the medication one that you're going to be assigned, you have to pay attention to the time that you're giving the medication. You have to check your patient and make sure that it matches the patient in the computer, because if there's something that's wrong, then you will mark that patient as an error. But when it comes to medication, you have to click on that one medication and go ahead and maybe it'll let me do it if it doesn't take me too long. If I mess up too much though, it doesn't let me go forward. So I don't suggest doing this because it will not ever let you out. You're like hostage in here forever. Okay, when you select a room, they want you to do higher acuity. 7 is the highest acuity. So she's in 3, or he's in, Paula Smith is in 303. And here's where I check it. Okay, does this exactly match this? If there's any number that's not right or the date's not right, then we would mark it as error, but we're going to select that patient. Here are some nursing concerns we would need to check. There's a checkbox there. I just didn't open my window enough, and then it's going to tell you I've obviously not got 50%, so it's just going to keep doing this. So it's going to do this until you're finished. What room am I in? 302. Is it exactly the same? Date of birth the same, picture's the same, select the patient. Okay, we're going to keep doing this. Oops, I missed a lot of that. Was that time? Until we're finished with it. Let's do the last one. I just want to see if I can show you the med pass. It's interesting, but it can get a little annoying too. Those are good. Acute pain, risk for infection, risk for tissue, I don't know, infection, submit. Yeah, I messed that up too. Okay, so see, it's just because I didn't pay attention enough. It's just going to make me keep doing this over and over until I get 50% of them right. So go ahead and work through that. The main thing I can tell you about the med pass is that you have to pay attention to the time that you're giving the med. You have to go in there and select it, and then you have to go in and search through body system or one of the other options to decide where you're going to find it in order to choose like the normal saline or the normal saline with KCL. It may take just a minute to get used to it. Okay, let's go back to that's your login. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, hang on. All right, now we're going to go back to Canvas. You've logged in, you've kind of looked at the dashboard because you're always going to go to the dashboard. And here are weekly virtual clinical assignments. This is what I wanted to go over with you. Week 11. Next week you're going to complete each one of these twice. It gives you different patients every time. You're going to do week 1 OB and you're going to take a picture. You're going to do week 1 OB again, you're going to take a picture. Same thing with pediatrics. Week 1 pediatrics, complete one session, take a picture, complete the next one, take a picture. That is all you have to do the first week of clinical. We aren't going to have any other additional assignment. We want you to get comfortable with the virtual space and just taking care of patients through the virtual clinical. So that's next week. You will have a week to complete it, but then we're going to have another clinical. So week 12, you'll need to complete pediatric twice. It gives you different patients each time, and you're going to do week 1 dosage calc. These are always going to be on your dashboard. And with these, you have a paper you're going to fill out this time. Okay, so not this week. This week you're just going to do the simulations and we're going to call it good. Next week we're going to add some paperwork to this. Here's the paperwork that you're going to do, and it is going to be in week 12 because 11 you don't have to fill it out. So you're going to go to week 12 and pull it up. It's going to be in between here. This week you'll add this worksheet to your virtual clinical. All right, here, these are just objectives. These are the things that we are hoping that you meet by going through these scenarios. So you will do one sheet for each session just on one patient. So if you do 2 OB sessions, you will do 2 sheets, but you only have to do it on one patient because each session has 3 patients in it. Just always pick the highest priority patient and you're going to do this worksheet. And remember, this doesn't start until week 12. You can do this the second clinical that we do virtually. So everybody is going to have demographic information, and then for OB clinical simulation you're going to do this short list. For the PD simulation you're going to do this short list. This is only going to be for your highest priority patient per session. So you're going to have 3 people in each session. Pick your highest priority, keep this beside you, and complete it as you go along. If you guys have any questions, y'all know who to call. Me or Jennifer would be your best bet for this particular thing right now. And I'm not sure where, I don't know if Jennifer put the Dropbox to put these in or not yet. I think everybody has a little different place they want their homework to go. So for Rutledge, please put it in where it says to put the particular assignment. It's easier to find it if it's week 11 or week 12. For Howard, she wants hers in her Dropbox. Cujo wants it emailed. I'm not sure about Melanie. So ask your clinical instructor where they want these once you start doing these. So here's the deal. Y'all are taking a test Friday. By the time this opens, you should be complete with that test. This gives you the rest of Friday and the weekend to get all this ready for you to do your clinicals next week. All right, any questions? You guys know how to get a hold of us. All right, I just wanted to go back and finish showing you these assignments. Next week, you only do each one of these twice. Get screenshots, pictures of the score after each session, and no extra paperwork to be done. The following week, you will make sure to turn those in, but then you will do clinical again. You will do pediatrics twice. You will do the other pediatric, not the fundamental. You'll go to the other PD, and you'll do week 1 dosage calculation. It's the fundamental rotation. Again, 50 is the score to have to pass this to be able to get finished. Week 13, our last week, and we're going to do 3 clinicals in a row because we won't do our next sim until April 27th, I believe. So turn in everything and you're going to do 1 more clinical. That's going to be your last clinical unless you missed a clinical already before we went to spring break. So for week 13, you're going to do practice course obstetrics, and I didn't show you that, but it's not on the dashboard. It's to the left where it says practice. Let me show you real quick. Right here, I can't get this to open up more, but under score report is your practice, and you'll just do obstetrics there. So let me find my instructions again. Okay, so that's week 13, practice course in obstetrics, practice course in dose calc. So those are what you're going to do with paperwork for week 13. Week 14, the only ones of you that will have a clinical is if you have to make up the clinical because you missed before spring break. And this is the one you'll do, the emergency department practice course. All right, this is also located in week 11, but I think Miss Jennifer has added it everywhere as far as the what's due, what to fill out and everything. But you can always go back. That's why we said as far as in week 11, go ahead and print. Go ahead and print the logon information, the assignment, and the due dates. If you'll pull these up and print them or save them in a file to where you have them on your desktop or something, it will help. Guys, don't forget you still have Evolve case studies that are due every week, and you have the TDH stuff that was the original one that's due the 4th, that's coming up, or the 5th, I can't remember what day, guys. And of course, we have a test on Tuesday. All right, any questions? Y'all know where to find us.